Podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Not your average Joseph. Marvelous.
It's ridiculously funny, but funny.
I'm marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. The show that got...
The show started, but you ain't getting that part.
As I said, pre-game show. That's it. That is the whole thing and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Just do pre-game shit like all the above.
You all wonder why we start so hype? It's because of the pre-game show.
Because of the pre-game shit. But the funny thing too is that it comes off sometimes like, we probably might pick up the energy or pick up the steam.
Yeah.
When it comes to I guess this would be the quote unquote the monologue. The monologue. Because somebody's like, oh, you guys go in on the monologue, and then next thing you know, like bing bang with the pose, and like, oh, okay. Yeah. This is conversation, but okay, thank you. Thank you for the support. Yo, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man.
Happy Turkey Day.
Happy Turkey Day.
And yeah. Everything's all good, Soup Kitchen little 1-2 volunteer.
Nice.
Give back to community as usual.
Shouting you out a special guest with you, Kiss Steve.
Yeah. Had Cam with me and stuff like that. So we did the 1s and 2s, She realized it's a hustle and bustle. She's like, I think she thought it was club fed.
Right.
But then she realized, she's like, oh, you out here clocking. I'm like, yeah. She's like, on your day off? I'm like, yeah. You got to get back to the world you live in and stuff like that, right? Be an active part in your own community. I live in the city and stuff like that, and that's my contribution to get back to the city.
Right.
So and people are like, what are you doing for the city? Heifer? I just realized I am 18 years in. I've been going there for 18 years. 18 years I've been doing this volunteering thing. And then I scratched my head because when his brother John...
Right.
Salute to everybody's happy. Even the fucking priests have friggin' damn hashtags and everybody's a brand. Everybody's a brand. But like with him, he's like, oh, I've been doing this stuff for about 19 years. So I'm like, okay, I've been like about 15, 16 and stuff. That's why I thought. He's like, no. You, Marv. I know you.
Yeah.
I know you. I know, shout out my girl Kemi. He like, I know Kemi. I know you. I know Tess. Everybody else stuff, whatever, they come and go and stuff like that they want. But he's like, you guys been coming consistently throughout the course of a year for years.
Right.
So he's like, after he became brother, before he became a father, with the priesthood and everything like that, he's like, yeah, you're about 18, 19 years and stuff. I'm like, bro, I lost count. I just do this shit.
You just do it. Yeah,
I just do it.
You do it.
I just do it. I welcome you guys and stuff to come through and everything like that, and as well, or even in your own community.
I was about to say, even if you can't make
in
it
your own communities, most definitely,
places,
man.
there's places that need volunteers to help out during this time, and
man, your city needs you, man. Yeah. Whether you're thinking or not, whatever, your city and stuff, town needs you and everything like that.
And you may think you're not doing much, but believe me, to those people, you're doing a lot. You are doing a lot.
Most definitely, man. Yeah, man. Welcome. Hope you guys, are well, taking in everything so far, some of the stuff,
Kevin Gates, we ain't heard from you yet.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to put out another call for you.
Yeah.
We'll put out another call for you.
Like, comment, subscribe, all of the above. All streaming platforms possible, podicalsons.com. We here. We see y'all. You can see us on YouTube and all the above. And let's get to the polls.
Let's go.
Let's get to the polls. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
First poll, is making new friends hard? 57% said no. I like to hand clap that.
Yeah.
I think because I look at it where there's a time where I feel like so many people and stuff felt like that.
Right.
But then I still feel like the other 40 odd percent, it feels like it's still hard to make new friends. I heard a lot of people and stuff saying like, yo, it's the quality of a person.
Right.
It's not really the quantity.
Right.
So it's kind of like, regardless, people do initiate some things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And what I mean, like, for example, a guy told me and stuff 3 days like after I posted a question. So he called me and he's like, yo, making friends and stuff, whatever, is hard, but that is not. So I'm like, what do you mean by that? And the man said, if you're a person that doesn't really initiate shit.
Right.
You need to make friends and stuff or talk to people who does initiate shit. So when you deal with people and stuff like that, it's kind of like eventually over a period of time, not that a monkey see monkey do, but you tend to pick up mannerisms and stuff, whatever, from them.
Yeah.
Right? And then I start looking at like my friends and stuff, like who I kind of seem like he's like, think about your friends when you first met them compared to where they are now, because it's kind of like birds of feather flock together. Right? But then I'm looking at even like 1-2 friends and stuff. I'm like, yeah, you were different in the beginning, but we here now. And like, yeah, you starting to match energies.
Right.
A few people I feel in my personal world, I don't feel like it's them really the issue, or like me making friends for me is not hard.
Right.
I talk.
Yeah.
I meet people.
Same here.
I don't care and all the above because no malice.
Yeah.
Right. But I feel like a few people and stuff in there where I see they're kind of hesitant. And if it happens in front of me,
right,
I tend to try to alley-oop some stuff for them.
Yeah.
To kind of fill the bridge and stuff and help bridge the gap between them and another person and everything like that. Now, I pray people who have a problem, I want to say initiating new friends or saying like, oh my gosh, like, my friend circle, they're not really, I don't say up to my time, but let's say if you're single and all your friends are married, not saying you can't mesh well with them and stuff, whatever, but certain things you might do might not, operate in their schedule. If they're doing like family play dates and you don't got no kids, you're looking like the creep pedophile or pedophilia, or if it's a chick, was a female name for a pedophile?
If every couple's night comes by and you got a different chick every couple's night.
Yo, the coldest thing in the world is suits my girl Nikki. When my girl Nikki and stuff, whatever, she told me one day, she's like, she's an asshole. So I think this is like 2009, 2010. I'm dating and everything like that. This asshole, Nikki's an asshole. You hearing this? You an asshole. She knows it too. She'll laugh at it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're doing this at the house. You should bring such and such by. Bring a girl by. Like, why? We embarrass you and everything like that? I was like, y'all embarrass me, but I mean, like, I only bring definites.
Yeah.
Right? And like, she put this guilt trip on me and everything like that, and I folded like a house of cards.
Right.
So I bring the chick by and everything like that, right? Me and the chick, we didn't even pop off for more than like a month and a half. Not even 2 months.
Yeah.
So I think, she's like, this is like a decade plus later. So let's say it's before the pandemic or something like that. We're going through some photos at her house. It's like her birthday thing. And we're going through some photos and they snapped a photo of the chick. Right? So I was like, oh shit.
So she's in public record now.
So, right. You know what the asshole shit? She showed me the photo. She's like, name that chick. I was like, so I was like, I had to look at her.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, it's one of your friends. No. That's one of your friends. I was like,
see, this is why.
This is why.
I don't.
This is why.
Yeah.
The certifieds go everywhere and stuff like that and all the above, right? Because I'm like, so I try to be cautious, but bringing new friends and making new friends, it's not a hard ordeal to me. And to the people that don't, look here, I ain't making no excuses for nobody. YouTube videos. There's YouTube videos and tell you how you can make friends. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, I think that's one of the good things about social media is that you always say this. You can find your tribe. Right? So as long as you're yourself, you post things that you like, I mean, you'll find people who might have similar interests and so forth like that, right?
Of course.
And majority of like the new people who I've met and we became friends is because, we're in the same type of like maybe production group. Or I might post something, they might, yo, that's cool. How you do that? And it'll just be a back and forth conversation. And we figure, oh shit, we have like the same type of gear. And then it just starts like that, right? So
I feel like that's an organic buildup too.
Right. So I'm saying if you're just going to be yourself and allow yourself to just be out there a little bit. Just if you're afraid, if you don't know how to make new, just be social. Do you know what I mean? Just post stuff that you like. Because you'll find people who like stuff. And the more stuff that you posted, you might find the same people liking that stuff. You go to their page and you'll realize why they like your stuff.
I always look at where I feel when it comes to social media, part of the drawback might be is that well, maybe it might be just for me, but I just feel like there's a stigma with like, you know, somebody, whoever you meet on the internet might be dangerous and stuff like that. They might out to kill you, cut your organs out, Jeffrey Dahmer your shit or something like that, whatever, right? And I feel like, yes, those cases and stuff do tend to happen, but I want to say, like, we have to think about like a daily basis, like
and a percentage,
and a percentage, like this. Let's say from 8 a.m. Eastern to let's say 10 p.m. and stuff, whatever. Think about all the people might be interacting with posts, likes, and all the above,
right?
And then probably even like initiate a meetup, and that's including like dating apps and everything as well,
right?
How many cases of those pop off and stuff, whatever, per day,
right,
or per capita, in said country, right? Because even if you say like there's 2 of those and stuff there, okay, 2 out of how many like possible new friends were made and stuff within that day, maybe 100,000. I would risk it.
Right.
I would risk it. And even if you go with your gut, if you feel like this person or this thing, you don't feel the vibe for it and stuff, whatever, your first instinct was that, don't initiate.
That's all. That's all.
All right.
57. I'm glad for that.
I'm glad.
I think it was, I mean, we did something similar and it wasn't.
Yeah, I was asking like, as an adult, is it hard to make friends? And like, it was like, people like, yeah, it was like an 80 percentile. Like, yes, it's hard. So growth. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
I feel like this is a spy versus spy. I feel like we got to cut the screen down the middle right here. Right here.
Yeah, we divided on this shit. We
super divided on this.
We still divided on this shit. So next poll was, who would win in a fight to the death? James Bond or John Wick? And 82% said John dumbass Wick. I was just joking. John Wick. I would never call John Wick a dumbass, boy. He killed me with like a damn stapler.
And before we go any further, we must let you know that Deathmatch has James Bond winning.
Yes.
Deathmatch got James Bond winning.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So we'll throw that in there. So
I guess, well, since you're in the John Wick side,
yes,
and I'm in the James Bond side,
yes.
me. This thing on testing. All right, so James Bond got gadgets to kill. James Bond has an arsenal of gadgets to kill. Right. Shout out to Q.
Shout out to
fictional ass Q. Was it
man, boy, if Q was real.
Yo. Q was out here.
Yeah, Q was out.
I look at it as stuff where John Wick is the newest bad man. Like, I want to say, what do they call in the barbershop? Gun Fu.
Gun Fu.
Like, you know, like, what's my guy? John Woo movies. The Chow Yun Fats and all that type of stuff, whatever. Matrix. Those are Gun Fu movies.
Right.
And they're like, yo, John Wick is a Gun Fu movie.
Yeah.
Right? I respect John Wick to the fullest extent. I seen John Wick kill that giant dude, I think part 2, with a fucking library book.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, you know what? You're going to get it, regardless.
Right.
The worst thing you could do, if you see John Wick, just play dead.
Just play dead.
Play dead and just call it a day and stuff, whatever, right? Now, if we look at John Wick flicks, 1, 2, there's 3. James Bond flicks. John Wick, in one movie, he could probably assassinate like maybe like 200 people. So say 600 people.
John Wick, yeah. You got a kill count.
He got a kill count. Is it better than James Bond? Is it higher than James Bond? All those flicks. We're not even talking about the Quantum Solace and the Casino Royale remakes and everything like that.
Listen, man. I'm going to give it to you that James Bond has killed more Batman than John Wick.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
But then we got to look at the quality of Batman that James Bond killed.
Jaws. He was like, he eats bullets. He eats guns.
All right.
Odd Job.
Jaws, and who else?
Is it Dr. No?
Dr. No, he wasn't really a bad man though. He just, you know what I mean? He ordered things around.
The man with the golden gun.
The man with the golden gun was, no, he wasn't Dr. No. The man with the golden gun, I think, was a different character.
Yeah, it's a different character then.
But he just had the golden gun.
But he's a marksman too. And James is a marksman.
Now let's go to the John Wick movies.
All right. John Wick, the biggest line in John Wick to me when they said, was it, I had to Google at the time when I watched the part one. They said, because John Leguizamo, his character was saying, he's like, John Wick. Whoa, whoa, whoa. To kill Baba Yaga, if you got to kill Baba Yaga, which is a folklore demon, you got to get John Wick to go kill a folklore demon. Ain't nobody killing John Wick. And I was looking like, that's a fucking reputation right there.
That's a reputation and a half.
Because I never heard nobody said like, yo, this nigga James Bond out here killing Candyman. I've never heard that.
And the reason why I rocked with John Wick is because at the moment that clock said go,
right,
you're no longer protected by us. Every Bodman killer in the world who only specializes in just Bodman killing. I'm not talking the army recruit running that just get knocked off so and so and so and so much. I'm talking contract killers.
Right.
Every one of them in the world just went after this dude.
Right.
And still couldn't kill him.
He's that dude.
And then I'm looking at James Bond, the spy. I'm like, James Bond got gadgets. He got gadgets. But in this day and age with surveillance and all of that going on, I don't know if he can get close enough to use the gadgets.
I think he can.
You think he can?
I feel like he can, because in any case of stuff, like John Wick, like his awareness and stuff, what is it? Is it spatial awareness? It's fucking phenomenal.
It's nuts.
So
is Bond's.
Yeah, and Bond's too. I think Bond can pick up like pheromones and vagina juice like in the air. And then so I think like that right there, once that's mix is gone, then his 007 skills come
Bond,
out.
See, Bond will knock your girl. That tear a piece of your heart out.
Well, I think Bond is cold enough where my man, he would come in the scene, let you know that whatever you're doing is about to be done.
Yeah.
Give you a one-liner.
Right.
And then kill you.
Yeah.
And then martini, and then woman at the end of the flick.
He's one person, two I can think of now, that has screwed their enemy and then done their enemy after they screwed them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a Bond move right there.
Secret agent, man. I just look at stuff like hypothetical battle. Like I said, Bond will go after Wick in that hotel.
Yeah.
Bond doesn't know the rules of the hotel because Bond is a government man. But they probably give him intel. Be like, hey, this is a place for assassins and all the above. You need to tread slowly, tread carefully, but this is the mark. Go in there. The click pens and all that type of shit. Or you can just start with the pen laser stuff right in his back. Or in back of his dome. Because, they both wear bulletproof suits.
The suits. You got it's head or nothing. It's headshots or nothing.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much with those dudes.
Pretty much. And as I said, both of them can take a beating, but I feel like John Wick can take a more beating. If it's like no gadgets, John Wick hands down will assassinate Bond.
Okay.
No gadgets, hands down. Gadgets, you lost me there.
See, so how does Bond get through the front door of the hotel?
The remote car. He just calls with his watch.
He's going driving who? So they're not gonna see Bond coming?
No, but okay. John Wick's at a bar.
Right.
He's at the bar.
Yeah.
James is at the bar stuff with her for a drink.
Mm-hmm.
James press whatever button on his watch. The car comes crashing through the thing.
Right.
Was it Kansas City Shuffle? Everybody look left, you go right.
Right.
So everybody's looking like, what type of car is coming through this shit? One laser. Or even the rocket pen. Or the click pen. Like
Mars writing the next Bond flick.
You're damn right. You're damn right. Fuck a Freddy versus Jason or whatever. This is John.
I feel like Bond's gonna approach and the bald-headed black dude is gonna make a call. Mr. Wick, your guest who you're expecting is arriving. Okay. My bar. We're just gonna be waiting for him to come.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of times, especially with Wick, Wick's just he has that lament personality. So he's gonna lament on his dead wife or lament on one of the dogs.
Why he's lamenting?
And why he's lamenting and stuff. This is what
he gonna get slapped.
Yeah, he's gonna like, yo.
In the middle of lamenting.
I mean, this is why we tell y'all not to be depressed out here. People catch y'all slipping.
They'll catch you slipping, man.
So I mean, hey. But the people have spoken. I would keep quiet and stuff for everybody. No whole YouTube channel supports my argument in full detail. So I ain't mad at that.
Oh man. While you were there, was there any other interesting verses that you spotted?
Oh my gosh, it was too many. I went down a rabbit hole. I told you, like I had this thing and stuff where if I go anywhere on like a research mode,
right?
And I feel like I was like, let's say I click one video that says, who is not your average Joseph, right?
Right.
I click that. Then they say something about Andrew having a good time. Once I click Andrew having a good time, in my head and stuff, I'm like just kind of just jumping into the rabbit hole like this.
Right.
So I'm kind of free falling. That's why I was like, yo, people, stay woke. These YouTube traps is real. Because it happens to me like that fast. So when I was in these things, like, yo, they had ones where they took it, I want to say more to like fan, like, or nerd fandom.
Yeah.
They had one where, was it Mega Man versus the Terminator? And I was looking at stuff and they were saying like, all the souped up mods they do to the Terminators and stuff, whatever, right? Because remember, Arnold was like the old base mod.
Right.
And then you look at like the one with...
The T3 was all liquid, was it?
T1000, he's all liquid.
All right.
But then even T3, the Rise of Machines, that Terminator, the descent that killed them, like the older... That's a different breed. So they're saying like, them versus Mega Man. I was like, I mean, Mega Man be stealing powers though, you know what I'm saying?
Mega Man is shit, man.
So then they had a whole bunch of them and stuff, and I was like, yo, you know what? I don't have enough time for all of this. But when I do,
when you do, you're back.
When I do,
you're back.
Because I was saying this stuff the other day. I was like, somebody's mentioning some other shows and stuff like that, and I heard because I heard of the Ted Lasso show, and it's like one of those Apple TV flicks and stuff like that. And then you told me about C, it was with the blind people and all that type of stuff.
Yeah,
and I was like. Salute to COVID, because if it wasn't for COVID, I would never finished Snowfall. Like, remember, I binged.
Right.
I was home, I was binging shit. I couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
But I'm like, I got too much shit to do.
Yeah.
So I don't really have the time to take in.
Yeah, it's hard now that we're back to almost like a full working order.
It's built different. But yeah, I mean, we champion all that fun stuff.
Yeah, man.
So yeah,
listen, and if the movie does seem to pop up, you know who started it. You know who started it. I was saying John Bond, but Marvin, he ain't feeling that.
James versus John. That's it.
James versus John.
James versus John, because you got to give it a simple ass name.
Yeah,
they'd be like James versus John, and just show the preview. And when you show the preview, all you're showing is like some gun fu shit.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And all that type of stuff. They'd be like
nuts.
James versus John, and then they look like 007. You're called. Everybody's breaking neck to watch it.
This is a blockbuster. Blockbuster.
I want my check.
That we up.
Run the check. Cut the check. What do you want to talk about this week? And we get into everything. And
this week has just been. It's like.
What do you want to talk about? What's on?
I want to stay away from the Kanye.
You want to stay away from Kanye?
I want to stay with it.
Let's stay away from Kanye.
I want to stay with
Okay, we'll stay away from Kanye.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah. Okay.
We can do that. We spoke about Kanye before.
Yeah.
We spoke about Kanye before several times. We're done, right? Are we officially? Are you still Are you a believer that he could get better or become better than what he is now, or is he too far gone?
At this point, I think he's just at the point where money matters and nothing else to him.
Okay. Fair.
And I don't feel like he cannot come back. So to the I don't think he wants to.
Fair.
I don't think he wants to. And while the world gets up in arms over his antics, I just look at it as him promoting his business.
So like not even I wouldn't even spend that much time and stuff on it. Like you said, we're gonna pass it by, but I don't care to watch interviews from him. Like I I only watched that I watched part of that Tucker Carlson.
That was the Tucker Carlson
interview for like maybe like
reason,
5 for you. I did it for you.
I was about to say the only reason why I would watch that because the two of them are characters.
I mean,
and just seeing there's something about watching two characters go at it. I think I would probably just watch it for that to just see what kind of foolishness is going to come up.
Fair, because I felt like that and stuff, whatever too, right? But we were talking about it earlier and stuff and everything like that, and attention is a hell of a thing.
A hell of a thing.
And I'll just leave it and stuff at that. From that, the presidency to the list goes too long.
Yeah,
I just feel like he's deflecting,
mm-hmm.
and that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And he's deflecting. Why I say he's deflecting is because when he said Bush don't like black people,
right?
I feel like that was a deflect where I feel like he probably don't like black people, but there's Kanye supporters out here. I
mean, there's R. Kelly supporters, there's Jeffrey Dahmer supporters. People are gonna have supporters regardless of what they do.
True. Okay, I look at it like this. If I meet you,
right,
and they say, "Oh, you're such and such's husband,"
right,
whatever I get introduced to you as, this is what I know. This is your priority.
Right.
Now, if you do other things, let's say, "Oh, you're such and such's husband, but you're a brain surgeon."
Right.
Too and everything like that. And then after that, you have a Fortune 500 company and stuff.
Yeah.
I still know you as such. Whatever I know you as first.
Yeah.
First. Kanye was thrown to me as a producer.
Yes.
You and we've done valuable checks. That his production skills have been quite often stolen. Even I heard Just Blaze issue like 2 lawsuits or 2 against him and stuff, whatever.
Him and Just Blaze going out for
some time.
For some time.
For some time now and everything like that. Like, the finesse dude, the Canadian dude, whatever. Shout out to Finesse. But I was like, that producing world kind of got shattered.
Right.
And I know you as this first. Everything else is stuff like is kind of like a spin-off to what I know you or what you came into my world as, whatever. Yeah. So most of the time I try to separate what I know you as first compared to all the extra shit afterwards and everything. And he's going into something where I don't understand anymore or I don't care to understand. So I just put it to bed.
Yeah.
I just put it to bed and stuff like that. So when people bring Kanye talks to me, I was like, Kanye talks is kind of like elevator talk. You walk in the elevator, some weather we're having. It's kind of like,
right.
Why lives matter? That's what Ye said. It'd be like, keep it pushing. What else? All right, what else you got, man? What else?
I mean, it's funny how the world could be wrapped up in Ye and not know that World War III about to hit.
That's on top of my roster like a dreadlock. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
I said, North Korea launches test missiles over Japan. Elon Musk is trolling the Ukraine and Russian war. When do you think World War III will start?
I don't know. It's like I don't know what people what people want to pay attention to, man.
Yo, talk to me, man. We're like. Okay, let me say this to you.
Yeah.
What vanished in front of your eyes and you didn't realize it? Within the news world.
Within the news world?
Monkeypox.
Yes.
Where monkeypox go?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, monkeypox has vanished.
It's done.
It's done.
Yeah.
How?
But I mean, the big breasted teacher's gone too.
I don't think that's put to bed yet. I'll tell you why.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying that it's put to bed.
Yeah,
it's out the cycle right now.
For now, I feel like. Here's my thing.
Yeah.
With Canadian media,
yeah,
I've noticed and stuff is that things will surface once,
right,
and when they come back, they're linked to something else. They're linked to something else because it's kind of like, the guy, he was in that band. Oh my gosh, the Rockhead people are going to kill me. Tries to get hip.
Okay.
Gordon Lightfoot.
Right.
For years, he's been campaigning about the missing children in like, you know, for the native missing children and everything.
Right.
For years, before his death, right? R.I.P. For years, he's been talking about this. They're like, and I always have people like, yo, every time I hear a tragic kid, I always hear just going like, what's going on? And then they tell me, I'm like, oh, okay. 2021?
Yeah.
When they found the first set of indigenous bodies of the children.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this was connected to all the Gordon Lightfoot
right.
shit, whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. And then like, look at the body count just kind of rise.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, you thought this was over, then it kind of piped down and it just comes back. Like, it just has to always cycle through. I want to say what like most American media,
right,
is kind of like, they give you so much, you don't know what the fuck to track. You got to follow it yourself. And if you don't follow it yourself, then that's
it.
Then that's when it's done and stuff. But I think the Canadian shit, it always tends to come back and back. This war thing, I feel like it's going to happen a lot sooner than we think. Why? Because 2017 was the last time they tested, like, North Korea tested missiles and stuff over Japan.
Right.
And now they're testing missiles and stuff over Japan and stuff whatever again. So like 5 years later, they're doing this shit again. And I looked and I laughed and I said to myself, I was like, I thought the focus was Russia and Ukraine. The man's like, now let's test some fucking missiles. Let them know we ain't bitches out here. If they feeling froggy, sleep. And I was looking at it, I was like, yo, this is war.
This
is war.
Right now, they're talking. You know, they're telling you how, you know, Russians, that they're mobilizing their arsenals.
Mm-hmm.
They got the super duper sub heading back to the region,
mm-hmm.
and everybody's posturing, but nobody's posturing with no rinky dinky tools.
No,
they're posturing with some Armageddon shit.
Yo, Albert Einstein said, I don't know, and I'm going to paraphrase it and stuff, whatever, but he said, I don't know what kind of weapons they'll use in World War III, but I do know World War IV they'll be fighting wars with sticks and stones. Because everything they're going to use is going to annihilate shit.
Right.
It's decimation.
It's gonna be
It's just straight decimation. Right? And, you know, Ukraine, they're bombing back. They're fighting back and everything, doing their ones and twos and stuff like that. They've gotten the aid and they still asking for more aid and everything and stuff. So I feel like a lot of, especially let's say a country like America,
right?
I feel like they should be more reserved to giving away funds when you know that North Korea can launch a missile that can come over to the West Coast.
Right.
At least the West Coast of America, right? So I don't think we're a country like America, they specialize in war and war is their, I want to say monetize off war.
Right.
Because it's kind of like, we don't have that much goods and stuff to kind of give. However, we're willing to set up our troops to help you in your need and everything like that, right? And I think right now it's going to be on a level where everybody has to protect their own neck. You can't really get yourself muddled into someone else's affairs if you don't protect your own neck. Because for all you know, you're going to get sneaked. Because the North Korea thing, it just caught me off guard.
Yeah, that caught me off guard, right? And right now, there's something going on between Greece and Turkey.
Mm-hmm. Palestine's still at it.
So
Palestine's still at it.
That region is it's a hotbed right now.
Tons of those places,
and
man.
a lot of y'all people just worrying about Kanye said. So I was like, where's our priorities?
Well, like I said, you follow something, you keep going into it and stuff, or that's how it is and stuff when it comes to, like, I want to say US media.
Yeah.
Right? Canadian things are just like, it'll fall off, but like, wait for it. We'll be back after these messages.
How are we about maybe a year and a half now into this conflict?
What? Russia and Ukraine?
Russia and Ukraine.
No, I think it popped February. February sometime.
Damn, it seemed long. Or is it just time is just going fast? Time's going fast.
Time goes fast.
Time
goes like super fast. And that's what I was feeling for. I was like, I thought it kind of piped down, but it didn't. Because if you're, like I said, if you're still in it to win this stuff, if this is what you're following, then because there was a point in time, like from the February to at least probably the beginning of April, every media was focused
straight.
on that.
Yeah, it was straight.
Right? And then bit by bit, they start drawing back and all the above, and it pops back up when they need more money. I
believe so too.
Yeah, I'm off that. I wanted to talk about Marquise Jackson.
Okay.
For those who don't know who Marquise Jackson is the son of Curtis 50 Cent Jackson.
Yeah. That shit was wild.
This is where nepotism goes wrong.
Yeah.
Explain to me, because you always tell me, I look at things and stuff, whatever, I'm with poor man mentality, how 6,700 a month, 67 times 12, round off to 81,000 a year isn't a decent income for somebody just to get. Not working.
Yeah.
Just to get a year.
It's more than decent.
Oh.
I think the argument is more than that. And this is what he's using. I think I don't know if it's a cry for attention. I don't know if it's like
we're just talking about yay with its attention. Okay.
And I think it's like, I don't know if like you're upset that your father is who he is, and he maybe never probably treated you the way you wanted him to treat you. So this is your way of getting back. Because there's no way that you can tell me that you're making more than 80% of Americans? 50% of those you're making more of are living decent and are okay with what they're making.
Mm-hmm.
And then you cannot live with it. Right? And then I wouldn't say, and when you say nepotism, I say maybe it's the lack thereof. Because if they had a better relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Father and son, don't you want your son to take over whatever you're creating?
Of course.
So you're bringing them in and you're teaching them how to run things, how to do things.
Right.
You have that relationship with your father and you're learning whatever he knows and you're absorbing things. You probably don't even need 6,000 a month. You're probably happy with 3.
Play this. Give me 6,500 a month.
Yeah.
Give me 6,500. Give me $6,000 a month.
Give me $6,000, bro.
Give me $6,000 a month. I'm laughing.
Shit, give me 5. I'm laughing.
Well, because I look at,
I'm laughing.
yeah, because I look at it stuff as you're in this position and stuff where you don't have to really break your neck to do so much now because you're above, like I want to say, average cost of living levels for doing nothing. For just this person is your parent.
Nothing. Yeah.
This person is just your parent.
Yeah.
Now
you working for you decide to work. That's your work pocket change. That's pocket change coming into you.
There's like a hell of a sense of entitlement and stuff when it comes to these younger generations. When it comes to like the I want to say, let's say the 90s stars.
Yeah.
I always look at the 90s stars and stuff like that as maybe like a small percentage of them that came from money.
Right. And
the rest of them kind of etched out. But now this is the wave of their kids. Their kids are famous for no damn reason and stuff like that. Whatever, right? Like I want to say, if you didn't have the sex tape, I wouldn't know who Kim Kardashian was.
Right.
Right? Like they had to say, like, when they told me her father was a lawyer on it, all I remember was Johnny Cochran.
Yeah.
And Robert Shapiro.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't remember like Robert Kardashian was another lawyer stuff at this firm.
Right.
Right? And then when they broke it, I'm like, okay, so you're known and a socialite because your father was a lawyer in the O.J. Simpson trial. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of times... Paris Hilton. Right. Paris Hilton doesn't run hotels and everything like that. Like, she just lives.
Yeah.
So, I think a lot of them and stuff, like, want to be famous from just their parents and stuff. And I think I heard Will say it to Jaden one time and stuff. Like, you're not rich. I'm rich.
Yeah. You did nothing.
You didn't do anything for this. Now, if you acting, doing your 1s and 2s stuff, whatever, then you're making your own coin.
Right.
What's his name? Judah Apatow, the comedian and stuff, whatever, who writes like all the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up and all that type of stuff. This is 40.
Mm-hmm.
Midas and Paul Rudd. That's his whole family in real life. Leslie Mann is his wife. Those are Leslie Mann's 2 children, 2 daughters.
Right.
And the man's like, yo, the older daughter's like, you need to buy me a car. He's like, no, I can put you in a movie and you can act and buy your own self a car. Yeah. The money I got for you is for you to do other things.
Right. And that's the type of nepotism that I'm talking about that 50 Cent's son might see and be like, I wish I had that type of relationship. I don't. All I get is a 6, and to us, it's the world, right? Mm-hmm. But for someone who probably thinks they're lacking love or anything, that 65, I mean, like, fuck you, dad, you just give me that because you have to.
So, okay, do you think 50 is the problem? Or do you think Marquise is the problem? Because I look at it and stuff where Marquise, let's say for a period of time and stuff, whatever, you could blame his mother.
Right.
Marquise is coming into himself. He's a young 20-year-old. Mm-hmm. When does we hold Marquise accountable? To say like, all right, the relationship is fucked up. Like, I want to say there's tons of estranged parents and stuff out here in a regular broke people world, like you say.
Right.
And there has to come to a point where it's say like, if you're my father and stuff and we don't fuck with each other and stuff like that, I have to look at you and say, you know what, Pops? This ain't right between us. You feel like this shit is right? And you're like, if you don't give a fuck, then I'd be like, well, clearly we need to be completely separated.
Right.
Whatever, right? But if it comes to a point where I want something from you, that means I give a fuck. And the fact that you're still like, let's say even we drag you through courts, and you're still giving it up and everything like that.
Yeah.
How much bankruptcies and chapter 11s and all that type of stuff can help avoid and dodge some of these things?
But didn't they say one time his son was hanging around with the dude that shot him?
I did hear something like that. Allegedly, I heard something.
Allegedly something like that.
Allegedly,
right?
I heard something like that.
So I mean, I don't think they've ever had like a relationship that was on a point that would even be like considered talkable, maybe. So I don't know, man. It's weird to say who I would lay the blame on. Mm-hmm. If 50's been reaching out and the mom's shutting it down, which tends to happen, I can see that. But if he's not reaching out at all, then I gotta give 50 a little bit of that blame too, as opposed to just Marquise.
No, I look at it where Meet the Parents is real to me.
Yeah.
Meet the Parents is real. I feel like a lot of these things and stuff is that we don't know where we come from or like the line or the point of views and stuff like that of our parents. Tupac said, there's no way I can pay you back my plans to show you that I understand.
Yeah.
So when you come to this point where you're saying like, is the relationship, like I even said to my, like, I lost my father earlier this year.
Right.
And I looked at this stuff as before, I'm like, okay, before he went through like this dire straits and everything or his final moments and stuff like that, I had to make peace with myself and I had to ask myself especially when he was capable of and everything like that, like, how is our relationship? And our relationship and stuff was as good as it can get.
Right.
But I want to say a lot of people will probably try to look at like somebody else needs to be the bigger person.
Right.
When you're past the age of 22, you need to be the bigger person. Mm. 20, like from 0 to 17, you're a child.
Right.
18 to 22, I look at it stuff as where you're a child kind of coming into some things and stuff, whatever. And this is like, I want to say your parents' I don't say final moments, but their last few moments of
pull it back a little bit
to rein in and curve and stuff. We'd be like, all right, well, before you were fully underneath my wing, and we were supporting everything you did and stuff, whatever, like from like shelter, providing all this type of stuff. Now you might come in a place where you might go off to college, you might have your own place and everything like that. And the parents would be like, hey, you need to start saving some money, put some shit away for rainy day. The last minute type of thing.
Only call me if you truly need me.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And then like, once we get to like the 23 mark and everything, 23 and up, this person's not entering their mid-20s. Mm. You're not entering your mid-20s and stuff. You're coming into yourself. And you're getting an understanding of like what kind of person you might be. Your parents aren't to blame anymore.
Right.
All the things that if they never, they never gave you shit when you were younger and everything like this is the time for you to work to buy your own shit.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I always hand clap when I hear people like, I made nothing out of something. I made something out of nothing, whatever. I had nothing here.
Yeah.
I built this. I did this. You know, they talk like Nino Brown.
Yeah.
I hand clap that. That's a great thing.
Right.
Does it come with trauma? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. If it came with trauma, you have to deal with that trauma. That's not your parents' issue no more. You as the person, you're an adult now. You have to be held accountable and stuff to some things. So if you're looking at like where he started it or he did whatever, you need to let it be known that you're reaching out. Like I look at it, so if I have a problem with you or anybody and stuff like that, I can honestly say I have a problem with Smooth because he thinks John Wick and stuff can kill James Bond.
I'm sorry.
And then we're divided. And if we're divided and everything, I have to come back to you and stuff and now say like, yo, Smooth's not reaching out like that.
Yeah.
Grrring, I ding you. Yeah. Be like, yo, what's good with you, man? You acting funny, so I ever said to you James Bond is that dude. You know what I'm saying? They be like, nah, you're just talking your shit and everything like that. Communication compromise. We come to a level of understanding.
Right.
And everything like that. What is it? My boy, my doctor friend, A2D, agreed to disagree.
Yeah.
And
I say that all the time.
And keep pushing.
Moving. Keep it moving, man.
Oh my God.
Not ever going to agree on everything. And we don't have to agree on everything. We don't.
Oh, it could be so simple, but they rather make it hard.
I mean, it's a father and son thing sometimes,
What the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know, man. Let's move on to the next father and son.
Go ahead.
Puffy and Mase. Take that.
I'm curious. So Diddy said he will have a special.
Yeah.
He's shooting shit now. He was talking shit.
Right.
But I feel like he said he's blessed with having Revolt TV where it is now. He said he could have a special to kind of call out, air out some type of things.
Okay.
I don't underestimate rich people and their NDA powers.
No. They've got some of the most superb lawyers known to man.
So this is the reason why, like, when from the Donald Trumps to like the Beyoncés with if they're gonna party with me, they're gonna need a non-disclosure and all this type of stuff. If you cut me a check or say you gave me freedom and you're like, yo, there's an NDA. Don't breach it. You gotta pay this bitch back whatever times too.
Yeah.
But I need you to come up here and say some things and stuff. Not too much about the NDA, but more so some things that I like.
Just skirt around these parts.
Right.
I
look at it stuff as where, the whole talk and stuff for years, especially in the culture stuff, was always Puffy and Mase.
Yeah.
Like Puffy and Mase, Puffy and Mase, Puffy and Mase.
Yeah.
And then when Mase backed out, and then he went to do his preaching thing and stuff, whatever, the fact that Puff actually called him a fake pastor, some things kind of just hit different.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? I was like, I mean, you guys are like this.
Right.
And then I think Cameron was on the side.
Well, here's why I feel Puffy called him a fake pastor.
Go ahead.
I think the only way Mase could have got out of that bad boy deal or whatever the rest of that deal was, was something that something plausible. So if you're gonna now say that you're a man of the cloth and you can no longer rap about certain things, do about certain things, right? Maybe that's in there that allows him to walk away from it all. And if that's the case, then I would definitely, as the business owner, saying, you found something in the closet to get out. You're not really trying to be a pastor. It's just convenient for you to be a pastor.
Makes sense. Loom is Muslim.
And that's why as soon as I heard that Mase became a pastor, that's the first thing that came to my mind, is that he's trying to get out of something. Because it's not like Rev Run, where you see like a transition, right? It's not like Pastor Troy, where dude was a pastor, right? It's not like any of these people where they were on a positive movement already, and then their positivity just carried them to this level.
Right.
Mase a bad boy. Murder Mase. Woke up one day and became a pastor.
I mean, you got to answer the call when God calls.
You got to answer the call when God calls. And I'm not, I'm not saying that it couldn't be, but if you know ahead of time that there's problems in a contract, then all of a sudden the person you have problems with in the contract decides that, hey, yeah, rapping's not my calling. Standing at the pulpit is. You might scratch your head 2 times.
Well, because when you said that, I thought about Loom, because Loom is Muslim now, right? Is it Amir or something? He's full out Muslim. And he had a 1 album type of situation and stuff. And we know Puff his reputation is bad.
It is bad.
So for him to say he wants to do a special with stuff to kind of clear his name, not saying that it's a little too late, but bruh.
Yeah.
Like, this should have been something and stuff, whatever. And you don't have to...
I'll be 100% honest with you. I was super disappointed on how he handled that whole Black Rob thing.
Oh, of course.
Super disappointed on how he handled that whole Black Rob
We spoke about it on one of the shows.
We spoke about it, and it's like, to know that somebody was with you in the heydays and helped you make some money. You know what I mean? He might have not been the biggest star on Bad Boy, but he was a star on Bad Boy.
And this is where, like, that when that situation came up, that's why I said I rate Kylie Jenner,
right? Because
an employee of her, I think she said the guy who was in a car accident, he had surgery and everything, and had money for the surgery because he didn't have insurance.
Yeah,
she. Like, let's say with his surgery and stuff was like 100 and something K, and she donated 50K to it.
Yeah.
And she said it. She's like, yo, this person is not my personal stylist or makeup artist and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It was a one-time work thing and all the above.
Yeah.
And they took it upon themselves to give 50. Black Rob, it was Bad Boy and the family. Black Rob was part of the family. Until, I don't know, either contract expired or something like that. Because when I seen Black Rob, legit had a GoFundMe page for his cancer. He died of cancer, right?
I think so, yeah.
A form of a cancer. And like we were talking about like his treatment thing. And I said, how is this possible? You used to work with Diddy, who's a multimillionaire. Why would you even need a GoFundMe?
This is what I'm saying, man. It's like the fact that you could have covered this man's entire surgery, right? Paid for him to recover for an entire year. And that wouldn't even have scratched inside of your pockets, much less touch anything else.
I don't want to pocket watch like a kangaroo, but I'm just saying, like I don't know, because I guess some people just on some notion stuff for it. When I say fuck you, it means a fuck you.
Yeah.
And I hope that wasn't the case.
Right.
When it came to like this aspect with Diddy and Black Rob, but that right there, I want to say these are character shaping moments, because if I see you on the road and stuff, whatever, right? Yeah. And I see you in an argument and stuff with your woman, I see you grab your woman, those are character shaping moments.
Of course, yeah.
Because they're looking at oh, I thought you were a stand-up type of dude, but you're this type of dude now? I might not be rocking with that. So I might have to take a step back. Right. And I look at I really had to say a legit fuck you, and then a good amount of people need to know that this is a fuck you, why I'm not helping you.
Right.
But if it's not, that's the case, stuff, it'll be like, I don't really rock with you like that, or we weren't on good terms, what's up, but I can't watch a soul die.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Especially we might have fallen out. But at one point, we were good, man.
We were good.
And we had good times.
And I have the resources.
I had the resources. You know what I mean? And it's not like you, it wasn't all bad.
Puffy 2.0. I feel like whatever special he does try to come out with,
right,
to do more harm than good. Because we have to look at the history of Bad Boy, like in this whole totality.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking about, okay, so we have 3 Bad Boy artists who are in the grave.
Right.
Notorious B.I.G., Black Rob, and Craig Mack.
Yes.
So we have 3 artists and stuff who can't really speak too much, and they were kind of more in the beginning.
Right.
You have to add in to this mix and stuff, whatever. The Locks,
Right.
which I think they probably signed an NDA. I think most of them.
I think
Okay,
most of them signed an
think about their Locks. So we got Jada, Styles, Chic, Danity Kane, the music group, the girls,
Right.
the band.
The band. Anybody who was on the show making of the band.
True that.
Right.
Very true. Total. Faith Evans.
Mm-hmm.
And the list is long.
Yeah.
The list is long, right? Like I think he had a boy group too. He had
He did. It was like they weren't black, I don't think.
No, they were. I think there's like light skinned dudes, like some.
Okay, yeah. Maybe that's what
like,
it was.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we got to look at all of them.
Right.
And I look at whatever thing you're trying to say to kind of clear your name. You can't just cherry pick who you want to choose for this special.
You can't.
You have to bring them all.
Right.
You have to bring them all and stuff, whatever. Let them talk their piece and stuff, whatever. Now, we know the powers of NDAs, like I said. The NDAs would silence most of them and stuff, I'm pretty sure, because it's kind of like, okay, well, you didn't, and like he's like, some people didn't uphold their contract.
Right.
This is very true. When they didn't uphold their contract and stuff, whatever, did you find ways or utilize them to at least make your recoup your money back or something like that? If the answer is no, did you issue a lawsuit or stuff like that? Or, some certain type of things where you get your money back. And if you didn't get your money back and stuff, whatever, I don't think these people will be on good enough terms up to kind of vouch for you.
Right. Yeah.
So this special he's proclaiming will do more harm than good. My opinion.
Yeah, I think he should just let it die. And some people just don't learn. The funny thing that I seen was that him jumping on video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Saying he's not gonna address any smoke, because I think Mase had put on another video after he did the whole Breakfast Club thing, right? So he jumps out, right?
Says Mase owes him $3 million.
Then says he ain't gonna talk. He's not here to talk. He's not talking about any of this, that. But he wants to comment on Ye and this Black Lives Matter shit, and then gets in a battle with Ye. And I don't understand. So you ducking Mase smoke, but you feel like you're righteous enough to now go take on Kanye. You know Kanye ain't got no head.
People pick their battles. People
pick not to want to pay.
Well, yeah, but
because I think it's if me and you sit down, right?
Okay.
And we said we're grown ass men. We've come to the point where we should be able to reason and reckon and come to some sort of agreement, even if we agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
At least had that conversation.
I agree.
Because it's not today Mase is having this complaint. This is complaints going on. So if you had that conversation years ago when he first brought that shit up, we wouldn't be here today.
But even with the Locks, like I even feel like with Jada and them and stuff, whatever, there was sometime in, I think before the 2012s, before the 2010s and stuff like that, there was some situation where I think Jada went to a radio station or he was on some mixtape and stuff and they called Puffy.
Yes,
and asked about the freeing up the publishing.
I remember that.
Right? And then a little bit after that, or a few years later, that's when the Bad Boy Reunion tour came up.
Right.
And I was like, but the conflict was you weren't giving me my money and we can't get our publishing rights and stuff for certain type of things. And now you free up the publishing now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're going on tour and stuff. I was like, yeah, I just feel like there's some things there that Marv can understand.
It's just there'll probably be stuff we'll never ever find out. I mean, because of the NDAs, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, it is what it is.
Puffy 2.0, man. I think, like I said, when Mase did that shit to Fabio, it's a monkey see, monkey do thing. Because Kanye even claimed that Rockefeller and stuff had him like that. So I was like...
But in all honesty, that's how contracts were written. They were just giving you the same thing that they were given. Now, it's up to you and your lawyer to look through those terms and say what you agree with from what you disagree with and counter what they've written. You don't have to accept what they give you.
Very true.
But a lot of them are just, yeah, that's good. And then the next thing what happens too, some of them don't have, because some of them are coming in the game fresh and brand new, right?
Correct.
They'll get a lawyer that the company gives them. That's the worst thing you could possibly do. You think that lawyer's really working on your behalf?
No, they're looking for the best interest of the company.
Of course.
But I mean, hopefully, most of the time when they approach to these musicians and stuff like that, whatever, most of the time, like I said, they're kids,
right,
or they're young adults trying to find themselves and all the above.
Yeah.
Because to this day, I was even trying to process and stuff that Tupac died in his 20s. And to me, Tupac looked like he was in his 30s.
Crazy, eh?
Whatever, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Him and Biggie, they died in their 20s.
It's nuts when you think about it.
And I was looking, I'm like, I am older than they were and stuff before they kicked the bucket.
Shit,
now.
we older than Jesus right now.
Pretty much. Pretty much. He was 33, right?
Yeah.
He died at 33. So I look at it where we know some things at a time or a rate where they didn't.
They didn't, right.
Right? Hov did that, so hopefully he'll go through that.
So the bomb with the bulletproof suits does.
Yeah.
And also the skydive out of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
He did that.
Red Bull biters. But I look at it where it comes down to stuff like, yo, boss, we're in different times, and a young adult, they need to, like, this is where I'm saying the parental aspect and stuff will come in. If they have proper parents, because I'm not the greatest parent of all time.
Right.
I never proclaimed that and stuff, whatever. To my son, I would, not to other people.
Yeah.
But I look at it where this is where the parenting will kind of come in and stuff and be like, yo, Pops, I'm about to do this deal and stuff with such and such. What do you think I should do?
Right.
Conversation could be had.
Yeah.
I don't got no lawyer. What do you think I should do? They offer me a lawyer stuff to look at the contract and everything like that. Like when I hear some people kind of shouting out their parents' stuff, whatever, or like the momagers and all that type of stuff, I feel like, yeah, their parents might be more best interest and stuff, whatever, to help them, but the parents would probably take, like, be on the take.
Yeah.
But I still feel like it's still the best interest stuff for set artist or actor and all the above, unless you have parents like Gary Coleman.
Yeah, unless you got parents like Gary Coleman.
You gotta get parents like Gary Coleman and stuff, whatever, like, then
I'm sorry for you.
You shaking it rough out here and stuff for it. Those ain't proper parents.
Nah.
I can beat them on my worst day. But we have to remember that when you're young, you make dumb decisions.
Of course.
Hopefully some of these decisions you make when you're young, you don't have to keep paying for in the rest of your life. Like,
right.
I want to say, like, if you're a criminal or you do something in your 20s and it might get you incarcerated for like 10 years, you're paying for that for the rest of your life. Because one, you got a 10-year bid on your system to take off 10 years off your life.
Right.
And then two, the ex-con thing, that strike is still against you and stuff, whatever, right? And you would hope, but some of them, they make these decisions and stuff like, and I always bring back to De La Soul, because they made these decisions and stuff in their prime, and they weren't savvy with it, and they basically got screwed.
Yeah.
And they just have to live with their decisions and stuff until, like, somebody has conscience for them.
I remember one of the classes that I took when I was doing school for audio engineering. It was a management class. And he would always say, he would tell you, he was like, no contract is a bad contract. And what he meant by that was, look, you sign what you signed. It may not be the greatest thing, but you're there. So now what you got to do now is, for that duration of contract, prove why you deserve a better contract. Once you get to that end of that contract is up, your worth should be where you can now dictate terms. And if that label doesn't want to pay you, you've created value in yourself. You can go somewhere else.
So let me ask you this. if a contract is to come up and pop up and say like, yo, we'll offer you 10 mil for 3 albums, should they take that or take the contract and stuff and say 1 album for 1 million?
Well, that's the choice you got to make, right? Because it's like, what is your strategy at that point, right? If you do the 1 album for the 1 million, after the 1 album is done, is that million going to be enough?
Probably not.
To take you to the next level? Probably not, right?
But then this is where your show and prove comes in.
This is where you show and prove. So if you, and like I said, if you take it, right, and you do it, and you find out you're massively successful, then yeah, it might work out for you. If you don't, then you're just $1 million that you might have to pay back, and you're still not there in the game. But you know what I mean? It's one of those situations. You take the 10 mil. You take the 10 mil and you smash everything, right? It's a 3-year contract. You take the 10 mil for that 3 years.
3 album contract.
3 album contract, right? After your 3rd album, you might have made them, let's say, 6 mil.
In total?
In total.
Okay.
Right? So the 3 mil that they gave you, right? They got back. No, so 3 mil on top of their 3 mil investment. They made another 3 mil.
Okay.
Right? Well, they're looking at you like, oh shit. You're a moneymaker. Right? I'm gonna try and give you another 3 mil, see if you can make me another 3 mil. So I go back to you with the 3 mil contract. And you're supposed to be at this time and say, oh hell no, wait, it's like
the same contract.
Y'all gave me this is the same contract you gave me last time.
I've grown, I've elevated,
Yeah. I've made you back this money plus double it.
Right.
If you can't offer me more this time around, then another record label. You don't need another record label to see what I just did for y'all?
So I guess you gotta.
So now you have the negotiating power. It's just when you're not proven, you don't have that negotiating power.
So you have to show and prove.
You got to show and prove. So you take whatever deal comes to you.
So no, that's why the no deal is a bad deal.
No deals, you know what I mean? There's no such thing as a bad deal. You got a deal. Now you got to, it's what you do with that deal, right? Because that deal is not going to last. There's terms. It's going to end at some point, right? What are you going to do when the deal ends? That's what you got to think of.
Jam out my eyeball in a hotel like Houston saying, I like that. That's too much money, man. I don't know. Okay. Fair. All right, let's get to question of the week.
Question of the week.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Question of the week says, do you agree with the less you want, the more you have? Do you agree to that statement?
Yeah, I think.
Explain.
Because it doesn't take much to satisfy you now. You're at the point where you've pretty much met your needs, I think. So there's not much to add to it. You're not looking for much to add to it. Sometimes you probably might not even have enough time for the stuff that you have now.
I think I think you kind of created you didn't create the conundrum, but I looked at you like a naked crackhead that day when we were having that convo.
Yeah.
And you were saying, we were talking about like how much would it take for everybody to retire?
Right.
And but compared to the other person and stuff, whatever, my shit was probably closer to theirs. And yours like, it's just semantics. It's just like this. And I was like, are you high? And it didn't piss me off. It just gave me something to ponder.
Right.
It gave me something to ponder and stuff. And I started looking at it. I'm like, well, you know what? A lot of people set up these expectations and stuff in their world where, let's say, $1 million would make me happy. Like I hear a lot of people and stuff, whatever. When they say you can't retire off $1 million.
Yeah.
When I hear people say that and stuff, and I was like, why not? And then like, okay, you do the math now. Depending on the job and stuff, whatever, and everything, or like the let's say the wage and the income.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure average person and stuff, let's say even minimum wage statures, probably like close to 20 years. Maybe like say in teens, let's say 15 to like 20 years.
Right.
They probably done made and stuff equivalent to that amount of money.
Right.
But yes, bills, cost of living, and all those type of things kind of coming away. But it's all to like, what do you save?
Yeah.
What you save, and then what do you do with your savings and stuff? Whatever. The older I get,
Cost of living, you're living.
like the older I get and stuff, I realize and stuff, even with myself, is that we were talking about credit the other day.
Right.
Earlier, we were talking about credit and stuff like that. I was like, yo, my cashback rewards and stuff on one card ain't shit compared to like, you know what I'm saying? Like to some other shit we were seeing and stuff like that. And I'm looking like, somebody had a conversation with me, oh, I don't like fucking with credit and everything like that. But I'm like, yo, my boy made a valid point to this statement, whatever. When that person said, and I regurgitated everything verbatim.
Yeah.
My boy said, you gotta look at it like this. You use your bank card, and let's say your bank card is hit.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do that fight to get your money back.
Yep.
You use the credit cards. The credit card company is gonna do their fight to get their money back and everything and stuff like that, right?
Shout out to Visa, get my money back from Google.
Valid point.
Valid point.
Valid case in point. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it stuff where I think a lot of times most people tend to use this money thing
Right.
as the number one overall hitter.
Yeah.
And they focus on that the most to, I guess, quote unquote, say this will lead them to the happiness that they've been longing for.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like that and the vacation people. I call them vacation people and stuff and be like, oh, I need to go somewhere to get away from the madness and everything like that. No, either you completely move out the madness.
Yeah.
Or you deal with the madness and stuff like that. Because eventually your vacation's gonna run out. You gotta come back
to the madness.
Oh, thank you.
To the madness.
Okay, I thought I was on crack. I thought I was on like some base level crack.
But this is something, and I think people are so accustomed to how they're living and living beyond their means that when you say such a low figure, to some people it's like, nah, you're on crack. But I'm like, no, if you think about it, right? Do you really have to live in Toronto? No. Right? You just gotta live. You could probably buy a piece of property in Bali, close to the water side where you can maybe fish. You know what I mean? Farm. So right now you're eliminating two things. You're eliminating your food, right? You provide for yourself, right? The price which you could buy a piece of land for and then build a piece of property on the land, you're not looking to pay any mortgage or that's you after that, all of that.
Correct.
Right? So now it's basically now, what is it that you need to live? What is it that you need to feel comfortable with at that point? Those things are covered. The basic things is covered. Now, if you're a person who just likes to watch the sunset, horseback ride every now and then, how much are those things really costing you?
Not too much.
Not too much.
But then what if you're a person and stuff where you chase, I want to say there's some people where, like, I'll say for myself. For myself, being that, like I always say, I'm a child of hip hop.
Right.
I'm a child of hip hop and stuff where you've been showing me and stuff from my early stages and stuff, whatever, like nice watch, nice chain type of things and stuff, whatever. Like, I don't want to say flossing, flashy kind of purpose and stuff, whatever, but like you're good enough where your peoples and stuff around you can be good.
Right.
And I want to say the culture and stuff, the hip hop culture and stuff has kind of like shaped my mind.
Yes.
To a point where I look at it stuff as like, I need to have X amount to do those things.
Right.
When then it was so funny where just recently hip hop's been producing billionaires. And hip hop's been around for over 30 odd years plus. Right? 40 years. Yeah, like 79, right? 78, 79?
78, 79.
Yeah. So I'm looking at them like, for 40 years plus, we've only had like within hip hop and stuff a handful of billionaires.
And majority of those billionaires, it's not from hip hop. They've made their billions from.
Right. So I look at it stuff as where, even what's the guy's name? Robert Smith. When Robert Smith The billionaire who came out and said he's going to pay for this, the tuition of.
Oh yes, yes.
I think it was a Morehouse, I believe, or it was
so.
it was a school. It was a school down south and everything like that. And when he came out, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
The first thing that's what came to my mind. Then I went to go look him up. I was like,
he's like a tech. He's a tech guy. Yeah.
He's a tech guy. But like I said, my culture, like the hip hop culture and stuff, whatever. Like I'm a child of hip hop, where it kind of molded me and stuff, and just gave me these things to look at. And I had this aspect. And now when I stepped out that box and realized, like, yo, the less you want, the more you have.
The more you have. Yeah.
Because if I cut down the wants and stuff of like all in this, that, and the third, like I want to say, and I had a conversation and stuff with somebody. They're like, yo, why don't you get I think it was pertaining to a car. They're like, oh, if you get a car, you can get like a Benz for like this monthly payment and stuff like that. And plus with your insurance, because it's a high-end car, your insurance would be cheaper and blah, blah, blah. Why don't you get a Benz? I was like, I just need point A to point B.
That's it.
Shit that had heating in the winter, AC in the summer, and I can play my tunes.
Yeah.
And commute my son when I need to. I don't need to spend that money.
The less you have, the more you make. I'll give you mine about that, right? Same situation. When we before the condo, I had a huge house, right? Way much more house than me and my wife and my two kids needed.
That was MTV Cribs.
Right.
The double doors to get to the master bedroom.
it was a huge house, right?
Yeah.
And for a bit in that house, I'll admit, I was living in house poor. And it just did not make any sort of sense, right? But we were there, we made things work until we finally figured out. I said, you know what? Okay, let's scale back a bit, right? So we scaled way back. We went from like a huge house to this little tiny condo, right? But what that allowed us to do was whatever bills that we accumulated, we shut them down, right? And then we have money, right? So now that we have money, the first things we did was we needed a new car, right? So this is where the less is more, right? Went to the dealership, and I always liked the YJ Jeeps, the big chunky original Jeep. I always loved those, right? The one that I was looking at was like 50, I think it was 50K, right? And mind you, we're paying cash because the idea was I don't want any type of monthly payments. I want to pay matter of fact, because I'm paying cash, I want to pay less than what you're advertising the price with. You're going to get all the cash. I have it right here. You ain't got to wait for nothing, this, and the third. Give me a better deal than what you're offering, right? So they gave me a better deal and so forth. And I was sitting down there. We're sitting down there, and I was looking over, and I looked over and I seen the Jeep Patriot. Not as flashy. Nice looking Jeep, but it's not the Jeep that I always wanted. But I was like, well, how much do those go for? And it's like, well, that's about 10 grand less. So I looked at the wife. I said, what do you think of those? She goes, yeah, I like them. I said, that's okay. You know what? How about this? How about we buy that instead, right? And that extra cash that we were going to spread out, we dump it in stock. Sure. That's what it did. Bought the Jeep Patriot. That extra 10 grand matched the 10 grand that I was already going to put in Tesla. So I put a total of 20 grand in Tesla. I can't wear it. I can't look good in it.
Can't make a song about it.
I can't make a song. It's just got to sit there and do what it does, right?
Right.
That 20 grand more than 5 times itself.
And then some.
Right. So now, could you imagine if it was just 10 grand? It would have still been, right? But it wouldn't be it wouldn't be the more. So I took less with the Jeep.
But it made it more.
But it
made you more.
It made me way more in the long run.
Because you don't have no car payment.
I don't have no car payment.
And you made the money back at
and I made the bet.
That's beautiful. That's quality.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just, and it's literally getting yourself in that mindset to say that stuff like, man, like my chain, it got stolen on my wedding day.
That's right.
You know
That's right. We were talking about that.
And I literally sat down and thought, how many pieces of gold items that I have bought and lost over the years? What did it get me? Nothing. So I said, you know what? I could get a chain. I could replace it. There's probably something else I could do with that money. So now my mentality is a little bit different. It's changing. I can feel myself changing, right? And I'm a child of hip hop, right? Like we like the bravado stuff, right? But as you get older, you start to realize why you see the guy walking into the dealership in jeans and some Moses slippers and socks, and the dealer guy looks at him and say, yeah. The lot's yours. Walk around and pick up, check in, and then come back and talk to me and say, yo, why does this guy get preferential treatment? That guy gets preferential treatment because his credit in his wallet is stupid. You look at him and he looks less than what you look at.
But he has more.
But he has more.
I mean, well, if we're talking about like Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, yay. He look homeless as shit.
Thank you.
On my chill day, I can look better than
Thank
Ye.
you.
But he got way more money than I do.
Way more.
Have you seen Jay-Z recently? I even see it was a thing where, and I always laugh too, because they had that question circling around of like, would you rather have dinner with Jay-Z or take $500,000 in cash?
Right.
I'm taking $500,000 in cash.
cash.
Because I seen Jay and Kevin Hart when they had his podcast thing.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, like he had a necklace, like it came out of the Titanic, some shiny ass like sapphire and this watch and everything. And I look at Jay, and Jay he had an AP on. You knew it was an AP he had on, but that was it.
That's it.
That was my clothes look like the clothes I have at the house stuff that can compete or even be better than that.
Yeah.
But less is more.
Less is more.
Cha-cha-cha, Charmin. No, don't sue us. I just bored it.
We just bored it.
I just bored it. Because I finally got the concept and stuff, whatever I want to say recently, within a matter of a few weeks. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at so many things and stuff like pertain to my life.
Right.
And I was looking at it and stuff. I was like,
was there anything that you find that you've cut back on that you're not so gung-ho about like before? Like, okay, for instance, I know gaming was your passion.
Yeah.
When's the last time you bought like a video game?
That ended of last year.
Ending of last year.
The Samurai game, the Sekiro. That's the last time I bought a game.
Last
time I bought a game. And then even like when it comes to like kicks.
Right.
I'm a man, I like kicks and stuff like that. And then I start looking at like, I don't need 3 or 4 different type of gray kicks.
Right.
Like if I'm wearing gray and stuff, whatever, I don't need 3 or 4 different type of gray kicks and stuff. Oh, today is Air Max Day. This day is Jordan Day.
Right.
This day is Blazer Day.
Right.
I could just buy a gray kick, and I could probably just like buy clothes or like attire along that realm. Mm-hmm. Right. And it was just kind of like, I want to say for me recently, I really like sat down. I always say this. No one can tell you you're bored. If you're bored, that's the time you choose to work on yourself.
Yeah.
So I take that time and stuff for them. Like if I'm by myself, like I remember I had a moment and stuff where I probably did this, that, and the third. It was like, all right, I have to do these things and stuff in my life now. But I'm like, I can only go so far with that because this part's in my power. The rest is not in my power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then I'm looking like, I think this shit caused me anxiety. Why did this cause me anxiety?
Right.
Why did this cause a problem and stuff to me? No, I myself have to hold myself accountable and evaluate this.
Right.
Because, first step is admitting.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you start to build from there. And I'm looking like, well, if I cut this bullshit and I cut this out, I'll be Gucci.
Yeah.
So I'm like, in my mind, I don't think I need to do that much. But before I had that concept and stuff, I'm like, well, if I do enough, it'll compensate.
Okay.
But I realized there's some days and stuff where I legit will go to work and come home. I have food. I'll cook.
Yeah.
I have food. I have this, everything at my disposal.
Yeah.
And I probably spend $0.0 and stuff, whatever, that day.
Right.
And before, I would look at stuff like anytime I step outside, I'm going to spend money. I'm going to spend money.
Yeah.
And I was like, that whole type of thing I had to evaluate within myself. And everybody else is different.
Right.
Right? But you just honestly have to be honest with yourself and be real with yourself and stuff like wants and needs.
Yeah.
Those things are essential for every human being.
Essential.
So, and when I looked at it, I was like, no. Keep it real with you. Like, I guess we don't want to say that word, but I want to say it was kind of more inspire. But I want to say I low-key, I was kind of envious of. I'm like, how the fuck you had this low-ass figure to retire? You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking, I'm like, I'm out here trying to scrape this money. You know, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, I'm like, why you talk like that? And I was like, I really am doing something wrong or I'm missing something.
Yeah, I think at that point, it was going from a cushy desk job,
yeah,
right, to going to a physical, actually working job.
Mm-hmm.
Saying to myself, I don't want to work at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
So once I realized that it's really work that's taken away from my happiness, what is it that I need to do, right? To maintain that happiness.
Make money that you don't have to work so you can maintain your happiness.
Right. And what is the threshold that I need to make to maintain that level of happiness that I don't have to work? And then I realized it's not that much.
Right.
Anything above that now becomes in the territory of wants. Right?
Right.
If I want that, then I would go that. But for what I need, this is what this can take care of it right here. So let me get to this point and deal with the needs. Because if I deal with the needs and I don't have to do anything, I have that peace of mind. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'll live life. I think shout out to Carrie, man, because Carrie was one of the people who was telling me, said, listen, if you put certain things in place to take care of your needs, it frees up your time to concentrate on your wants.
Very true. Wise words.
Yeah. He goes, a lot of the projects, he goes, these are they're my babies. And you see like, I dedicate like 4 hours to these things. Cause like these are things that I want to develop, but I can only do this because I have 1 or 2 things in place that's taking care of the needs. So I'm never worrying about rent. I'm never worrying about this. That's not on my mind. It allows me to concentrate on my baby, on my passions, and help develop my passions. I say, yo, that's dope. I mean, I want to sit by this desk and do creative shit all day, every day. How do I do that? Well, I got to put things in place that takes care of bills that I need to take care of.
Facts. Well said. Well said. All
Good
right.
question.
Let's get to the Ask the Sons. First Ask the Sons for this week comes from a girl in the world. How do you control your emotions?
I don't know, because I was never one to let my emotions get the better of me. And
I think for me, I always say I wear my emotions like my clothes.
Right.
So you can see what I'm feeling and everything like that, right? I think now I'm in, like, I want to say probably from the age of like probably 33, 34. I've been more in a state of mind and stuff where happiness over everything. I look at it where, for me, I just try to, if I'm in a situation where like I'm gonna get out of character, I like to do the things that kind of will rein me in or make me happy and stuff, or bring me that happiness,
right? To
kind of channel back my focus. So I want to say I would go for a walk. I mean, play some music. I could enjoy like a decent conversation with somebody and stuff. Where I find like, with some wisdom and everything. Three things you can't take with you when you die: love, money, and wisdom. Right.
Right.
So I was trying to look at the people and stuff who I bat wisdom and stuff with, back and forth, because like you and other people and stuff like that and everything. I appreciate you people and everything and stuff in my world, because I'm looking at them like, we're having this time. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me,
right? Sharing
wisdom, like wise thoughts.
Yeah.
So those things help me rein in and like kind of control my emotions when I'm going out of pocket or some things.
Let's see again, and that's it. And again, but that's the level of maturity, right? And dealing with things that are more needed than wanting.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah,
because right now, me and you kicking it, sitting out on a porch with a beer in a hand, I'd enjoy that more than me and you going to the club.
All the time. I've been like that for years, man. I've been like for years. Like for my birthday, people are like, what are you going to do with your birthday? I'm like, yo, I just want some good food with some good people and good convo. That's it. I don't need to go anywhere. I need to do all the above and all that type of stuff. Like even my birthday this year, stuff, I was with my girl and my fam and everything like that. And I enjoyed every minute of it.
Every minute.
Like she surprised me and everything and stuff like that, right? So the fact that like she snuck up on me with this, like it made my day. And the fact that like we're here just vibing and talking and stuff, like the main person we're all here stuff is from me.
Right.
But we're here vibing, talking, having different combos and different things. And we're having a good time.
Everybody's having a good time. But we kick it back to when we was teens. Nah, we going out this week. We getting turned. We buy the $300 outfit, the $200 shoes. You know what I mean? Get the fresh haircut. We running it, baby. We running it.
Oh, the most essential thing I learned is to line up myself and save so much money.
I'm out here saying to myself, I don't know how I'd survive if I had to pay these barbers.
$50 haircuts.
I don't know how it would survive.
$50 haircuts. I paid $40 for a cut. And sometimes I look at it stuff as like, because my gas tank and stuff like in this car, it's so much more better and like compared to like the older car and everything. Okay. And I'm looking at stuff, I'm like, so when the gas prices are good, you mean to tell me my haircut costs more than my filling up my tank?
Mm-hmm.
How can he slap? How does that make sense? Make it make sense. And I'm going to control my emotions right now.
Control your emotions, right? Wheel it in, man. Wheel it in, brother.
The next question comes from Sarah Skywalker. I like that name. I like that name.
Go ahead. Like those skies, girl.
What is one interesting fact about you? Well, y'all know most about me.
That's what I'm like,
like 200 plus episodes in this shit or whatever. Oh, you know what? I thought it was a Halloween joke. Mm-hmm. You know who Kenneth Copeland? The preacher guy?
I was supposed to say, sounds familiar.
This guy scared the shit out of me. I thought it was a Halloween prank that they were showing me and stuff like that. I got to Google this fucking guy for you. And you got to see this guy's face.
Kevin Copeland?
Yeah, Copeland. Hold on. I'm going to Google right now.
Yeah.
Kenneth. You ready for his image?
I'm ready. Oh! Wait, he's a pastor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The face. I recognize the face.
Isn't that a demon from hell? A spawn from hell? You're not saying no. You're not saying no, man. You're not saying no.
Listen, I'm gonna certain people they creep me out how they look.
Okay.
Mark Zuckerberg's one of them.
Nah, he look like he's a cyborg, and when he walks out, what's that Beastie Boys song? Intergalactic planetary. Like that shit should be playing every time he makes an entrance somewhere. Like if Meta does like a keynote, that should be his fucking theme song.
Yeah.
But this guy scares the shit out of me. Because I saw him like pop up and stuff like 2 weeks ago. I was like, it's a Halloween prank? Like,
he would have been perfect for the smile advertisements that they were doing.
Yo, let me kill this guy off my damn campaign. Phone.
He would have been perfect for that.
That guy freaks me out. And I love horror movies. I watch a horror movie like to kill. Hell, I watch YouTube, the short horror films all day, every day.
Okay.
That dude, the friggin' 10-second clip I saw on the ground, like, I had to swipe past it. I was like, I don't think my brain was ready for it and stuff. And maybe it was too dark in my house. I don't know. But yeah, that's one fun fact now you know about me that most people didn't know before. How about you?
I'm a documentary whore.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I love a good documentary.
All day.
I don't know if y'all know about that, but I will fall into a documentary rabbit hole. That's.
Another fun fact about Smooth, I'll tell y'all. This fucker will watch some shit getting built, and he loves watching shit getting built for no damn reason. I do. And yo, bitch ass, because I was minding my business one day. I think I was high. I believe I was high. And I'm there at my house looking at some shit getting built. And I was like, yo, Smooth, you need to see this shit right here. Resin, though? I feel like I want to build something now. Yeah.
A good documentary and a good build show.
Oh, yeah, damn right. All right. Last question comes from Monster 2.0. Not even Buffy 2.0. Monster 2.0. You become a vampire. What do you do? That's it. Yeah, that's all he said. You become a vampire. What do you do?
I'm going to fly around the world once, real quick.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See, the vampire folklore, it is so much out here.
Yeah.
I love a True Blood vampire. Like, if anybody watched the show True Blood, I like those vampires and stuff. Because those vampires and stuff, whatever, for me, their blood is like a drug.
Right.
So like to a regular person and stuff like that, let's say you're human, you taste my blood. Now it's like some new kind of euphoric kind of high.
Right.
Drawback and stuff is that the person, whoever tastes the blood, like let's say you tasted my blood, you're infatuated with me and stuff until the shit pass out through your system. Okay. So in that world, vampire blood is called V. And people get high on V and people sell V. People even catch vampires and stuff just to get the V.
Just get the V.
And everything like that, right?
So it won't turn them into vampires though.
No, the vampire has to actually like bite them and drain them.
Got you. But as long as you're doing it, you're drinking the blood, their blood, you're good. You're just getting the high.
You're getting high as shit.
Right.
So like those vampires and stuff, I look at it, we're like, I'm into that. Like me personally, I'll just probably just go around just dropping like drops of blood and a lot of people's shit. Be like, hey, I'm a poor vampire. You're a rich human. You know, put this blood in your mouth real quick. Yo, transfer all that account money over to the thing, and I make sure I bank with a bank that that's still open when the sun goes down.
24-hour banking.
Well, no, look at. Like I don't like the Green Bank. I'm not gonna call it the bank's name, but they can cut the check.
Yeah.
They close at 8 p.m.
This is true. Yeah, this is true.
Sun goes down in the wintertime like around like 5, 6. You got 2 hours to diddy bop before the bank closed.
You did.
That's the kind of vampire I just. That's some shit I would do if I'm a vampire. What about you?
Yeah, man. I think I'll feel one quick rotation around the see how fast I could do it too.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yo.
Stunned.
You know what I mean?
Stunned.
I'd stunt probably the first 2 days, you know what I mean? To some wild shit.
Stunned.
Yeah, this is it. By the third day, I'll probably be bored as hell.
You're looking for new shit to do.
Like, and then sitting there like, I got the rest of eternity.
Right. Because I was looking at stuff where, what movie was that? The Dracula Untold? Slap ass movie. I don't know why they never made a sequel to that shit, but like Dracula Untold.
Yeah. Was that the best Dracula one for you? For me?
Yeah. For vampire flicks?
Yeah.
Keep it real, like vampire movie, yes.
Yeah.
Vampire movie, yes.
I like Interview with a Vampire. I like that one, but the one that you mentioned?
Yeah, the Dracula?
Dracula.
Because even the Dracula, the vampire that turned him,
right.
He's like, I've been alive for centuries and man's been living in a cave. I'm like, why? But I was like, oh, but if you're not dying, people are going to question why you're not dying. Right. And they're going to come hunting you while you're not dying. So man, just separate yourself from people. And then like, you're gonna be bored.
Yeah.
you're going to be bored. So, yeah, that movie did it for me. We are at the end.
We are here.
We made it. And I didn't get freaked out after I saw Kenneth Copland's face.
You held it in check.
Yeah, the guy has a face. When a mother and a wife who's looking for money can love. Like, all right, we got Associated Sons this week. Oh, we use this one. Are you ready?
Nice.
Associated Sons this week says, instead of just being great, you make great excuses.
Associated Sons.
Speak on that.
I think we all have the potential in us to do what we can do with our God-given ability.
Less is more.
Less is more, right? But it's the will. What will do you have? Do you have the will to get up and go get it? Because if you got the will to get up and go get it, then you're gonna get up and go get it, right? Or you don't have the will to go get it. If you don't have the will to go get it, you're gonna try and give yourself all the excuses in the world why you shouldn't go and get it.
My question to you is that if you don't have the will to go get it, can it be taught? Can it be learned?
I think it can be taught. I think it can be learned.
You think ambition could be taught?
I think you can work on it. If there's key things that you need to put in place, you can find out what those things are and put them in place, right? I don't say you have to be 100% at it, but you should be able to be at least 55 to 60. Because even 55 to 60 will move you forward.
Of course.
Yeah, we'll move you forward.
I would say anything over 30 should get you moving.
Anything over 30 should get you moving forward. But I think you should at least be able to put in 50. 55 to just really get that moving. But some people as soon as a roadblock steps in their way, they look at the roadblock. They don't look how to get around the roadblock because it takes too much effort.
Well, I think that's mindset. I think that aspect is of his mindset too, because it's like if you only see bad, if you only have bad thoughts and stuff in your head, all you're gonna see is bad, right?
You know, yeah.
Like I feel like if something presents itself in front of you as this is hindering your movement or hindering your growth, then what do you do with that? What do you do with that situation?
Right.
Do you if you're carless and stuff, but you need to go point A, point B and stuff, like 3 point stuff in one day, maybe you should work on saving up for a car. So then this issue is not the issue and stuff no more or whatever, right? Or then hopefully by the time when you're ready for the car, you might not have to have 3 points to go to and stuff in one day. Right. You might just need to go to 2 points or one, right? Work in, I guess, child care or whatever. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? But I was like, I think when a lot of people I don't know if it's a sense of entitlement, but I just feel like an obstacle pops in their way, they're just shot. They're just lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where the great excuses and stuff comes up to me and stuff. I'm like, obstacles are always going to be here.
They're always going to be there.
They're always. We know this as human beings.
Yeah.
What do you do with the obstacle?
Right. What do you do with the obstacle? And as I say, you can either be great, work through those obstacles, which is great.
Be great or make great excuses.
Or make great excuses.
Well said. Cool. We are here, folks. We are at the end of the road. Comment, subscribe, and all the above.
This is Sundance.
Shout out to Puffy 2.0 and Monster 2.0 for their questions and everybody for their questions and everything. Keep sending them in.
Yes.
Anywhere you find us, you can send the questions and stuff like that.
And we hope y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend.
In Canada. If you're in America, I hope your Columbus Day weekend was popping.
There you go.
All right. Once again, thank you for listening to Podical Sons. Remember the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Peace.
The Podical Sons was not your average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.